Chapter 2, A Show of Spirit. Even though Frida had missed a lot of school because of her illness, she was a good student and got good grades. Frida had a photographic memory, which meant she could picture something in her head after she had seen or read it. It was also easy for Frida to learn languages, and she was able to read and speak Spanish, English, and German. It was clear to Frida's parents that their daughter was very bright and loved to learn. Because of that, they agreed to let her attend the Escuela Nacional Preparatoria, National Preparatory School in Mexico City. It was the best high school in the country. So when she was 15 years old, Frida and 34 other girls joined a school with 2,000 boys. But Frida wasn't afraid or worried. She knew she was smart, and she knew that she would do well. Frida was away from home for the first time. It opened her eyes, her head, and her heart to lots of new things. The big, bustling capital city had been at the heart of the Mexican Revolution, which had lasted from 1910 to 1920. The friends Frida made, the things they talked about, and what she was learning in class all changed Frida's life. She was no longer Frida Pegleg. Her classmates saw her as a smart, fun, mischievous girl who could do anything she put her mind to. Frida took all kinds of classes in high school. Her favorite subjects were science and math. Although Frida's father and grandfather had been photographers, Frida decided she wanted to be a doctor. That was unusual for a young girl in Mexico at that time. It would not be easy and would take many years, but Frida was determined to do it. Even though Frida and her friends studied hard, they also liked to have fun, especially Frida. She joined a group called the Cachuchas, and this was the name of the special red caps they all wore. The group was made up of 7 boys and 2 girls. The leader of the group was Alejandro Gomez Arias. He became Frida's boyfriend. Frida loved hanging out with her friends. More than anything, they liked to play pranks and practical jokes on people. Frida was popular in the group because she was so daring and brave. She didn't care if she got into trouble. She liked being a troublemaker and annoying her teachers. After the revolution, one of the first things the new Mexican government did was to hire artists to paint large scenes on the walls of buildings for everyone to see. These paintings, called murals, showed the history of Mexico. The new government wanted to help Mexicans understand their past, made them proud of their country, and give them hope for a better future. History of Mexico. Ancient civilizations such as the Toltecs, the Mayans, and the Aztecs lived in Mexico for thousands of years. They built towering temples where they worshiped their powerful gods and prayed to the sun and moon. They created amazing artwork, jewelry, pottery, and textiles. This all changed when the Spanish arrived in Mexico in 1519. They brought their language, their way of life, and their style of European art and architecture with them. The native people of Mexico and the Spanish fought for many years, but the Spanish ultimately conquered and colonized Mexico. Then in 1810, Mexico declared its independence from Spain. The new country and its citizens were a mix of all these cultures. One day, an artist named Diego Rivera came to Frida's school. Diego Rivera was very famous for his murals, and it was an honor for the school to have him there. Frida didn't care that he was famous. She liked calling him Old Fatso while he was trying to work. Frida also did things like stealing food from his lunchbox and putting soap on the stairs to see if he would slip and fall. Frida got into so much trouble that she was expelled from school. But Frida felt that this was unfair, and she decided to do something about it. She took her case straight to the Minister of Public Education. What an incredibly brave thing to do! The minister agreed to let Frida go back to school, but that didn't change her behavior. She went back to school and continued to do silly and crazy things. The years at high school changed Frida, and it made her more determined to stay strong and accomplish whatever she wanted. She was on her way to becoming a doctor. Frida felt that she had so much to live for, but all of that would soon change.